For this reason, sometimes it was slow on my end, but that slow tempo was good for this Saturday. It just felt right. It just, I don't know, it was bumping a little bit. I don't know. I mean, it wasn't hit like it normally hits, but it's still there. And I'm still wearing yellow, so that's cool. Hey, folks, look, that was not an intentional rim shot. If my rim shots are always intentional, that was a rim shot to yeah, whatever. Hey, folks, welcome. It's Saturday, so you know what that means. It is another episode of Fandom Initiative. It's a remarkable Saturday. I don't know why it's remarkable. It just is. Oh, you know what's remarkable? It's the 23rd. It's great. Two things going on today. One, Old Navy cash activated.
Oh boy,
it's a wrap. So I got to get out of here quick. And the second thing is on the 21st, 12 dispensaries in New Jersey started selling recreational marijuana legally. Yay, that's a great thing. Yeah, that's awesome. So those are two cool things for today.
You got your stash?
Shh, we don't talk about it. We don't like if Vanessa L. Williams. We don't talk about that. Brother, when I find a black owned one, I will. And that's a whole other topic. I think there is maybe one, possibly, maybe, but I don't think it's here in Jersey. I'm trying to remember what it was, but I was like, oh, okay. So no, because a year ago, y'all would have been thrown in jail. So it's awesome. So, folks, let's get these introductions and let's start the show because we got a jam-packed, full show, like a PB&J type show. The man across from me, he is a cinema CEO. He is a cinema god. This is Michael Williams.
What's up, y'all?
Myself, I am a hungriest man in the room. You can take that however you want. I am the Hungry Bleak. Hashtag the Dark Star. Hashtag Nevermore. I am Antonio Pomares. And welcome to the fandom. How's your week been, brother?
Doing all right. Could always be better, but it was all right.
You topple any regimes lately?
No. Can't say that I have.
Sure. All right, we're not going to talk about that right now. We're not going to talk about it right now. We're not going to talk about it. We're not going to talk about it right now. Cool. I got you. I got you.
Yeah.
You know what? We talked last week and we were like, oh, you know what? We can't think of anything really that's for summer. And then we were like, oh, I was like, oh, wait a minute. I totally forgot that was going to be a thing. And they came out of nowhere. So let's start up with first thing we're going to mention is, I'm just going to say this because it's there. Netflix subscriber numbers tumble. Look, it's going to happen. It happens to every streaming service. I'm guessing they have numbers that tumble depending on price and when there are things happen and updates. Updates as far as prices go. What have you. Netflix, y'all are almost $20. And also the fact that you said that they were going to start cracking down on people who have multiple, but people who are letting other people jump on their accounts and use them. Yeah, look. I know you have a lot going on Netflix, but chill. Just chill. Because I found out people who I thought had it were like, yeah, I left like months ago. I was like, oh, damn, I didn't realize that. Okay, cool. So chill on that. They've been saying that they're possibly going to stop production on some of the shows that they were going to have. They were talking about. I've heard some reports about possibly animation being cut. Look, don't pull a WB. Don't start pulling your hair out, just going wild. Just start doing. Stop with the reality shows or non-scripted shows. I should say. Stop with the non-scripted shows.
That's not going to happen. Those are the cheapest things you can make.
And the worst thing, there used to be a time when it was you could go on there and it was quality.
Sure, but people continue to watch reality. That's why people still like it.
I just don't. Because it's starting to come up with the animation side, which is really starting to come up and really flourishing, which has been cool because I love it, especially in the time of COVID when it was at its peak. They were doing a lot of animation. That was a really cool thing. That was awesome. I mean, just this week, or last week, I should say, they had the new episodes of Tiger and Bunny. This week they had Pacific Rim the Black came back with season 2, and they've got all the stuff going on. That's really cool. I mean, take them games off of my tablet. I don't know why.
Yeah, I mean, I'll agree with that. Like, there's certain things that they need to get rid of. Like,
And stop canceling
games,
all this stuff and then grabbing another show to replace it, then canceling that. Stop.
Yeah, they need to get rid of games. They need to finally kill the DVD business, because I don't understand why they're even still entertaining that. I mean, I guess they have to. I guess they have to be there for people who still use DVD. But to me, it's time to kind of, if Netflix started a situation where they said we're no longer going to cater to the DVD business, the DVD business would finally go the way that it needs to go, which is goodbye. You know what I mean? At this point,
like, how much is that service even?
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we should all know how much that service is if it's still around, and we don't.
Yeah, that's part of it too. And honestly, I don't have a problem with Netflix being almost $20, and here's why. For the people who are complaining about Netflix being expensive, you don't seem to have that complaint when you go to the movies and spend $20 from one film. You know what I mean? And
I know
a lot of
people
y'all
are getting more of those the packages.
And a lot of y'all, yeah, but a lot of don't feed into that, because a lot of people aren't even using A-list, because to them, if they're not going, if they're not going every day during the week, they don't want to spend $23 a month. But they don't seem to understand that you already are spending $23 a month to see Doctor Strange one time. You know what I mean? When you could see Doctor Strange unlimited numbers of times during a month, 12 times if you wanted to, for $23 a month. See, people don't understand the economics of anything anymore. You know what I mean?
I think they understand the economics, but the logic of it. If I go on Netflix and let's say, like I said, it's what, 16, 17 bucks, whatever it is. Okay. I go on there and watch stuff. If you're going to keep canceling things that people are actually watching and liking, if you're going to keep doing that production, like, as far as like what you're producing, if you're going to keep doing that, then why would I stay for that? And why am I going to pay that amount for stuff that I'm only watching 3 shows? When you cancel the show that I loved, you got this one going on. This one is coming up and it sucks. This is what have you. So I can understand why people are canceling it because of the money wise, and it's not paying for them when they can go and get Hulu, which is what, still like $5, $6, something like that. Disney is what, 12 now, right? But still, it's Disney. Yeah. That library is ridiculous. It's absurd.
I get what you're saying, but there's another part to that people really kind of aren't talking about. If you're complaining about Netflix canceling shows that you like, well, that's the same difference as you subscribing to cable, right? Where you're paying 5, 6 times that amount of money, and they cancel shows on cable.
But if you're getting Netflix for a particular show, it's a Netflix exclusive, let's say. Okay. And they take it off. What are you going to do? Are you going to stay on it, or are you going to cancel the service? Where cable, you're not getting cable for one show. Who's getting cable for one show? Sure. Honestly.
But so I wouldn't cancel Netflix based on one. I mean, first of all, if you're just getting it for one show, you're better off subscribing for 1 month and then canceling and then binging that show.
But that's what people do. That's what people did with like HBO Max when it came out, or they tried to get I don't know if Netflix still has a 1 week or whatever free period. I don't know if they still have that. I honestly don't know. But that's what people were doing. Oh, this show is coming up. It's coming back on, and I hear it. Oh, this even like Prime or like whatever, like the shows like when The Boys are coming. Oh, I'm going to watch The Boys. I'm going to watch them when it's over. I'm going to cancel it. Or what they do that.
Yeah, but until we get to a point where these services then start cracking down on that, where they're telling you you need to sign up for a minimum amount of time. Like, that's what we're starting to move towards. Like, everyone, the free ride is starting to end in television. It just is. Because these services have been nice to subscribers for a very long time, where they've just allowed them to do whatever they want to do. And now, because they all need to start turning a profit because they've spent a ton of money to kind of establish these services, now everyone's all in a titty. And again, I'm not arguing that you shouldn't be able to see certain things the way you want to see them, and that Netflix should take more chances on. I mean, and that's the whole point, right? That's the whole reason why Netflix got started, is because they were kind of willing to take chances that other people weren't. I'm not arguing that point. I just think that some people's reactions to certain things is kind of overblown to me. It's just overblown in a world of entertainment where we have 1,000,000,001 choices, more than we've ever had. I just feel like, and again, this is not me coming at you, brother. This is just in general for people. There's this sense of entitlement now that is not a good thing at all. Like, at all. You know what I mean? Like, they can only cater to you with so much. And then at some point, they're going to be like, okay, well, we need to start making money. You know what I mean? And you were willing to spend the money at one point, but now you're not? I don't know.
But if you're not getting what you want, why would you spend the money? And they're not making money? Somebody's books are fucked up. Let's be honest.
Netflix clearly isn't making money, because now that's why they're willing to do an ad tier.
If that's the only way they can make money. 30 shows, which I love content again, but you can have too much where you dilute your own quality. And that's what's happened.
Okay.
Now I can dig them doing international shows, because there are shows from, I'm like, I didn't even know that was a country. Holy, are you serious? They got shows coming from all over, and their international market is, like, from what they're bringing, I should say, is huge. I mean, I'll look at like what's coming up, and there'll be like maybe like 3 or 4 shows. Then like the rest of the reel will be shows from like a Southeast India, excuse me, Asia. They'll have African shows. Like there's an African kickboxing show. I was like, okay, bet, I got you. They're starting to do some documentaries. Okay, but when they're grabbing too much, and you got to say, work within your means, calm down, look at what you're grabbing. Is it worth it? What are you going to end up getting rid of in that time? Because you're going to take one show off, or maybe 2, in order to fund or budget this one, or do whatever you got to do with this money for that. Figure that out, because it's ridiculous. Like, you go on there, and there's a lot of hidden stuff. Like, there's stuff that you can, I like watching A, B, and C, and you'll have the rest of the alphabet there that you like. I didn't even know that was. I never even knew to look for that. Something has to be fixed with that system. We've talked about them canceling shows on a whim continuously.
I think Netflix's biggest problem has been marketing. They don't know how to market very well. Whereas Hulu,
they expect you to see it when you're on there. Right. They expect you to see it, which isn't the thing. And I understand ads. I understand that ads may be coming.
Hulu can take over the entire. For people who watch the Oscars, Hulu literally had an ad of 2 or 3 in every break during the Oscars. So to a certain extent, they know how to market, right? Because they know how to place ads in big things and get people excited. Netflix doesn't do that. They're still relying on word of mouth, which is nice, but it only goes with so far. Like, you have to start spending money on ad spends. And I don't know why they don't. Like, maybe this is why they're going to an ad tier, so that they can get money to fund the marketing budget, so that they can start marketing things better. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I think that's been their biggest issue, is that they don't know how to market stuff.
They'll always wait for it. Yeah, because their marketing is, you're sitting here watching. Well, let me show you this.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not. And when I do see, wait a minute, do I even see Netflix commercials even on YouTube?
Very rarely.
Because I don't watch commercials really to begin with, so I'm trying to remember. Do I even see? Because you know that that sound. Yeah. Hulu, yeah, I see them continuously. And as of lately, I'm going to be real with you. I've started watching Hulu more. I've started watching Paramount more.
Even Paramount does a better job of marketing things than they do.
Yeah. I started watching yeah, not really Peacock. Sorry. Just gonna be real. Like, Peacock isn't that one, but
That's fair. That's fair.
it's there, and
And
it's also the youngest out of all of them, I think, isn't
yeah,
it?
and what I will say to that too, though, Hulu, Hulu, literally Hulu, Paramount, and Peacock to a certain extent all have an advantage that Netflix doesn't. They all own networks on cable, so they can. They literally have the apparatus to market their streaming service to multiple people at one time, right? If you don't count like the big events where they do the ridiculous ad spends, they can market those things on USA and Freeform and Channel 4 and all that stuff. Netflix has to go a different way because they don't own anything outside of what they have,
Yeah, their own
right?
content.
And they literally then have to spend ridiculous money to keep ads up on TV just to promote, let's say, one of the bigger shows, Stranger Things, upcoming.
Yeah.
How much money would they literally have to spend to promote Stranger Things across every network in order to get people to watch it or to get people to join Netflix to watch that show? Like, that's the problem where the other streaming services that we like kind of already have a built-in apparatus to kind of promote because their parent companies are literally cable networks or entertainment companies that we all know.
And something outside of it.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know. Maybe that means that Netflix has to buy something in order to be able to do that. But what are they going to buy? Like, there isn't much that they can buy.
There isn't. What network? There isn't.
There aren't many networks up for sale.
Because the ones that I would think aren't really.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't. Yeah, there's nobody out. I mean, you can pay me. I mean, my rates are fair, but they're going to be expensive. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Now,
But
hypothetically, you can't even do that either because yeah, I'm not even going to bring that up because there's no way to even kind of articulate that. But I'll talk about that some other time.
the only, I think the most recent commercial I've seen from them has been for Stranger Things.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you, but if you're a person who doesn't like Stranger Things, you're gonna skip past that commercial.
That's what I mean.
And no. Actually, before that, I should say before that was a couple, like when we were new to 2022, they had a commercial of like what's going to be coming out. It was on like I want to say like YouTube. I think it was on something else or whatever. And it was like the movies that are be coming out and everything. I'm like, okay, all right, but that wasn't going to get me. Because the stuff that they were showing off, and this is it could end up being great stuff because it hasn't even come out. Like some of it's come out, and I just haven't watched it. I'll be honest with you. That might not hit me. So you have to show something deeper. I mean, and you also. I was having this discussion. Well, someone else was having a discussion. I chimed in a chat. They were having a discussion about Netflix doesn't have an actual franchise series.
Okay.
Really, that you can think of. Like if you think of Prime, you can think of The Expanse, Bosch, The Boys.
Okay.
I guess even though it's going to be in its what season is it? Third season?
No, The Boys, third season.
It's like damn, third season. Jeez. Whoa. You know what I mean? But you think about like Netflix has Stranger Things,
The Witcher.
And then you have to go into kind of niche stuff. Voltron.
Ozarks. I would say Ozarks is a big one for them too.
Exactly my point. It's more difficult. So, I mean, I would have said anything at this point if things are going properly. I would have said Altered Carbon. It's not there. They got 2 seasons and an animated movie out of it. It's consistency. It's listening to your public, not to the point where you're pandering them, but listening to your public and their fans, because they're telling you they're not going to give you advice just because they want you to do something stupid. They're going to give you advice because they're like, or they're going to tell you what they want because they're like, no, I want you guys to succeed. I like you. I'm not going into any streaming services going, I hope they fail. I want them to fall. That's not the thing. Do I like spending money? Of course not. You all know me. You know what I'm saying? But I'm willing to pay for quality stuff that's going to entertain me, make me feel good, and make me happy. That's what it all comes down to. Yes, obviously money, but also you want money because that's going to make you happy, obviously, because you're a business. So why not look at that and say, okay, what's going on out there? Sort yourselves out, eh? Get in, sort yourselves out. So, but as your father, as your business, then it's Netflix. It's all right, then. All right. Fancy a butcher's, then, mate. Am I all right? Yeah. Tossers.
Maybe they should buy AMC.
But that's with Amazon. I mean, they don't own them, but that's Amazon. Even has that thing where you can do different channels, which is kind of a cool concept. It's like you build your own kind of modular thing. I mean, it's an added cost, but yet it's still
but I think
a cool customization of what you want.
But I also kind of think, and I agree with you to that extent, that there was this kind of modular thing that we went through in entertainment for a bit, but to a certain extent, I feel like that's also starting to end. Like the more and more we get people with streaming services, they're literally saying, look, I'm not giving you my content so that you can make money off of my stuff. Like you're starting to see that already. Like you're starting to see a lot of these companies are pulling out of where the agreements that they had. Like NBC is not going to be on Hulu after the beginning of next season. Like it's gone. They're leaving because they have their own apparatus. Honestly, you know what I mean?
I would stay with Hulu if I was NBC because Peacock is $5, I want to say.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing they have on there is WWE, and that ain't really pulling in like it used to pull in.
Yeah, I think the perception is with a lot of these companies is, and again, it's the foolish perception, right? They're like, oh, well, we don't want to help Disney continue to be this juggernaut. But in some ways, you're better off. Like, you're better off working with them because they are kind of this known quantity that's been known for a very long time. And their reach is unparalleled. You know what I mean? Like, nobody else has the reach that they kind of have right now. And that's why you see a lot of these companies starting to make all these side deals and trying to gang up together because they can't match their reach. They just can't. They can't do it internationally. They can't really do it locally either. Like, I don't understand why you just don't stay on Hulu when there are subscribers there who consume your stuff. If your expectation is that you think people are going to keep Hulu and then also buy Peacock, I don't know.
No, because I'm going to be getting rid of Peacock soon because I'm not. It has some original programming on there, but you won't know about it.
Yeah,
I've seen shows. I'm like, wait, this is theirs? Yeah, I never heard of the show. David Schwimmer has a show on there. Does anybody know about it? Central Intelligence? I can't remember. What it is. Something like that. There's a lot. They have some anime on there. They have Ray. The hell name this friggin' Showtime show with
Ray Donovan.
Yeah, they have that on there. Yeah. They have there's another show they have on there, which
and I even agree with you on the whole WWE reach thing, and I know this segment's going long past where we wanted it to go, but I'll finish up with this. I'll even agree with you on the WWE reach thing because to me it's like I actually went on there the other day. This is the first time I've been on Peacock since I probably downloaded the app.
How long ago was that?
Huh?
How long ago was that?
Did I download the app? Probably around when it launched. When was that? Last year?
I want to say it was long.
Or was it the year before?
I want to say it was the year before. I think it's been on longer than that.
Maybe year before.
Yeah.
And I perused the WWE section, and
that's how you know it was real because he said peruse. He ain't say, "Look, I said peruse."
And there are clearly things that are missing on there.
Yeah.
Like I don't understand why they're not up there. Like in particular, one thing that stood out to me was, you know, they have this whole thing, the whole section for the Great American Bash from the WCW, and one of the major ones is missing. I'm like, what? I'm like, what is going on here?
But there are only certain things they're putting on. They're not putting, like, they edited a lot of the content on there.
Yeah.
They edited a lot. They took out a lot of things. It's not the WWE section. Like, Peacock is a great starter, but it can evolve from what it is. WWE should have stayed on their own network, like their streaming service, I should say.
Yeah.
The WWE network, and just fixed it instead of selling it to Peacock. I understand the move because Vince and
needs
all
money.
Yeah, they definitely need money. Yeah, they need money like I need more T-shirts. Yeah, right. Record profits and also record releases. Yeah, I think they're good. That Saudi money. Yeah, hope you wipe the blood off of it. You know, like they should have just stayed on there, fixed that app, fixed that service, because it was a good service, and it only had a couple of flaws. It was hard to look for things. Like its search engine was a little off, but you could watch a pay-per-view. Like you could stop it. Like if if it's going from 9 to 10, which is generous because you usually go from 8 to like 11 or whatever. If it's going for 2 hours and you come in 30 minutes into it, you could stop and watch it from the beginning. You can't do that with Peacock. You have to watch it from where it's at, then you get the next day, like 24 hours the next day, you can watch the replay. If you were looking for the kickoff shows, just drop an anvil on your foot. There's no point. You'll get more enjoyment out of that. Honestly, there were what have you. Yeah, but long story short, Netflix, sort yourselves out.
We went through the woods on that one.
Jeez. Next up, we got the trailer for Thor: Love and Thunder. I don't have anything to say about this. I was already going to go see the movie. I just didn't know when it was. I'm going to be honest with you, because it's been very quiet on the home run for Thor: Love and Thunder. I'm excited to see this. We see Thor. I kind of wish they had kept Fat Thor because I liked that. I did. I like that idea. Just the whole. I honestly dug it. We see that. We get to see him. Definite homage to Eric. I'm trying to remember his guy's name, but he was called Thunderstrike in the comics. Definitely homage to him with the leather vest and the T-shirt. I see Marvel. I see what you're doing. Definitely love that. We get him interacting with Guardians of the Galaxy. I must have missed it because everybody kept talking about Star-Lord's eye roll. Which I must have missed it because there was a lot going on in the trailer, and I was just trying to take in little bits.
Yeah,
I'll rewatch it. Probably won't. Honestly, I probably won't rewatch it.
You funny.
Because you know what, the trailer was so much, and I only like watching one trailer, and I'm not gonna go. I have so much to watch and read. I'm just not. But I'm glad it's out there. Look, I love Taika. Dude is cool as out, and he always puts out like wild, crazy stuff that's just beautiful and awesome. And at the end of the trailer, we get the moment that everybody's really want to talk about. Two things with this. We get Jane Foster as Thor. This is awesome. But the hammer she has, Mjolnir, did you notice it?
I did.
A lot of cracks in that hammer. A lot of duct tape and some Elmer's glue. So we had the question before of what universe is this? Is it our universe? Is this something different because we're going to be getting Doctor Strange first and then this? A lot of questions. I have no answers. I'm a man without answers. But I'm excited about seeing this, and I want to see where this goes and where we go with Jane Foster as Thor. Sir, thoughts, queries, questions, recipes. Run it.
Yeah, I mean, good trailer as always. Unexpected because I didn't know that it was just going to drop until I went on Twitter the other day and people were saying it's out. I'm like, what? Okay, so
because it came out what, Monday or Tuesday?
Yeah,
I want to say, yeah.
yeah, and yeah. I mean, um, Natalie Portman wasn't one of my favorite things about Thor. Um, I'm curious to see how she plays this Jane Foster.
Hmm.
You know,
And is this the same again? Is this the same Jane Foster? Even
yes,
like, there's a
yes.
lot. I'm trying to think of the last thing I saw Natalie Portman in. Yeah, okay. I don't.
What was the name of
The
that
movie with
movie?
Oscar Isaacs, and that might have been the last thing I saw her in.
Which one?
It was an A24 movie. It was Oscar Isaacs.
Yes,
I can't remember the name of it. Not Oblivion, but it has a name like that. Where I don't know why.
Annihilation.
Thank you. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
think that was the last thing I saw her in.
yeah.
I don't know if she hasn't been working or I just haven't been paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But I want to see how this works. I never read. I'm not a big Thor reader.
Mm-hmm.
Not since I was a kid. I never read the Jane Foster Thor books. Heard
Mm-hmm.
they were great and amazing. They looked beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm excited to see this.
Yeah.
I am. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Again,
Yeah. Yeah.
I wasn't looking for it either. I wasn't like, damn, I need that. But some people were like, damn, can I get that Thor trailer? I'm like,
Yeah. And again, Marvel just does. Marvel just does these amazing things with music. That's just kind of crazy to me. Like that whole thing, the whole thing being synced to "Sweet Child of Mine" is
I want to
just
say that
brilliant.
has to do with Taika too,
Yeah, just brilliant.
because Taika, like, I'm starting to love what he does with music with these Thor
Mm-hmm.
movies. Give
Mm-hmm.
him, if they're going to do another one, give him this next one and see what else he does with, because he'll bring. Because next thing you know, this song will be like #1 downloaded
Mm-hmm.
on
Mm-hmm.
iTunes or Spotify or whatever black market download service you're using. Shout out to LimeWire. We all survived. But none of our computers did. I'll be honest with you on that. I got like 2 of them that did not survive that mess.
Oh my god.
I just like him. Who else? My man from Baby Driver. Damn.
Oh, Edgar Wright.
Yes, him. Edgar Wright. Jordan Peele.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I love when directors can do things with music
Mm-hmm.
and make you feel it. Like, I miss that feeling.
Mm-hmm.
I miss it. Like, lately in my head, I've had like mid to late 80s music
Mm-hmm.
in my head, music where it was to song, because every song was to a movie.
Yeah.
And it mattered.
Yeah.
So I like that feeling, even if
Mm-hmm.
these are like late 80s, early 90s songs, that I like that. So, so I'm in for it. Yes. It's good.
Yeah.
Just went through puberty again. It's horrible. All right, so yeah, that's going to be coming out not today. So next movie we got, I don't know. Folks, this is just not just. I'm wearing yellow. Just calm down, folks. Calm down. Loving the after image. Next up, we have Everything Everywhere All at Once. Best movie of the year. I'm gonna say it right now. I'm being.
I wanted to know what your thoughts were on it, brother.
First off, A24. You already had us there. Obviously, you give us a mix of action, sci-fi. You give us family drama. You give us humor. You give us this very existential kind of movie that makes us think. Which A24 will always give you a movie that at the end leaves a kind of open ended, and you have to kind of think, well, what's going to happen next? What's going on after? Still, I mean, they're going to give you an ending, but after that, and in your head, you kind of do start making up these other stories of what happens. I've done it. I did it with Midsummer. I did it with Hereditary, and they're not good. They don't end well in my head. They don't. You give us Michelle Yeoh, obviously. She comes and goes back and forth. I love the fact that she's always somewhere in that mix. I love that. And this is just such a beautiful vehicle for her. Oh my God. I loved her Evelyn. I loved my man playing Wayman. Ki Hugh Kwan. I
Mm-hmm.
hope pronouncing his name right. Used to be known as Jonathan Key Kwan.
Mm-hmm.
You know him from Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom as a quick round. You
Short
know him.
round.
Short round, thank you. Short round, quick round was my nickname in high school. Don't ask. It's we all grow, folks. We all grow and prosper.
Mm-mm.
Um, you know him from as was it Gizmo in the Goonies?
I think so. Yes.
Yeah, and then he kind of fell out of acting. He just wasn't there to see him have his resurgence because it was this Finding Ohana.
Mm-hmm.
It was there was something else that he was in too recently that I forgot what it was. And we got James damn what's my man's name? The man that played the father. James Hung.
Yeah, I think so.
This dude's been in everything since
Mm-hmm.
1805. This dude is a legend,
Mm-hmm.
and I love seeing him there. Probably, and I'm gonna look right at you, Doctor Strange. Best multiverse movie of the year,
Yeah, that's what everyone says.
and it definitely has. And you have this almost like an underlying kind of love story too in there. Love story as far as like romantic, but also parental.
Mm-hmm.
There were a lot of facets in this movie, a lot of things going on, and I really enjoyed it. It was just this is a movie where you go, well, there are no rules. We can do whatever we want. So how do you get this person's ability? You have to do something that's completely out of left field. So what do you? Oh, and Jamie Lee Curtis stealing scenes with the hot dog fingers, typing with her like playing
Mm-hmm.
piano with her feet. This is this movie was. I'm glad I finally was able to get it in my area and watch it. This was definitely worth it. It was definitely worth being tired of going to see this movie, but it was definitely worth it. Yeah, probably my movie of the year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, we're not even in July yet.
No,
And he's saying it's a movie of the year.
because what can come up, and I mean, obviously there might be some that can, but the blend of everything that's going on, the absolute no fear of having people having martial arts scenes with awards stuck in. I'm not even going to say where it was, but and then we can do anything, and the cast, and having it be in subtitled, which I loved. Having a predominantly Asian cast, I loved. And just the whole existential thing of the mindset. This is A24 at like this is like A24 just saying, so how can we make Antonio lose his mind? I've got an idea. What is it, Wilson? Well, this is what we do, and go with it. Yeah, this movie, a movie that stays with you even after, because I'm still thinking about it, and I saw it last week. I'm still thinking about it. I'm like, damn, that scene, and what happens afterwards, and what it means to be a parent to some people, and culturally, what does it mean, and culturally being an Asian parent, because I have Asian friends. One of my best friends is Asian, and you see what like the stereotype of culture and how they want you to be so much more than what you are, and sometimes it can be domineering, but it's out of a place of love that they have for you. But it's hard. We have it in the Black community. We have it at times too. Afro Latina, yeah. So there was a lot. Definitely a buy when it comes out for home viewing, even if it's on a service. A buy, definitely.
I felt the same way, brother, and I saw it in a previous employment situation while it was still on the festival circuit before it actually literally released in theaters. So, yeah, and let's not forget, not to say that this was the difference between it being great or not, because it's not, but I thought it was interesting that this film was produced by the Russo brothers.
Yeah.
So these guys know what they're doing. Like, they understand genre filmmaking. They understand good ideas. They understand how to help good ideas come to fruition. And they are not a flash in the pan. These guys know exactly what they're doing, which is why I said, and I've said this, and I think I've said this on the show, and we've said this on the show a while ago, Marvel, let them do whatever they want to do. Whatever their next project is and they want to do it, let them do it. because it will be a hit. It
I would
certainly will be a hit.
I would love to see them. There are some properties like non-Marvel comics that I would love to see them work on and see what they would bring to that table. Because I can just there's this thing where they just I mean, once you
they get
saw
it. Yeah.
Winter Soldier,
Yes,
that was where everything kind of broke. And I don't mean break as far as like in shambles. That's when you see a definite change from everything else, the Winter Soldier on. You saw the tone change.
Absolutely.
Like, and you know a Russo movie when you see like it'll say across the screen, it'll say like New York City or Bangkok or like that tone, and that's when I know, okay, let me get in.
There's a feeling with the Russos that, which is interesting, right? Because people used to always argue, and I used to hear people say this all the time, even in chats and everything. Everyone would say Marvel movies don't have this sense of stakes being raised until the Russos came along and changed all of that. Like everything that they've touched has this sense of stakes being raised to the point where if things don't go right, this is going to be really bad for everybody in this film. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
it was like an all or nothing gamble.
Exactly. And you get a very similar feeling in everything everywhere all at once. That there's some serious stakes to everything that's going on in this film, whether it's sci-fi, the heartfelt parts of the movie, everything. And this by far, and I'm gonna say this is one of the top movies of this year, if not the best movie of the year. I'm still waiting for the other things to roll out after this, but I don't think they're gonna even touch this film. And I said it literally at the end of the first time I watched it at my employment situation, my prior employment situation. Give the trophy to Michelle Yeoh now.
Well,
there's no question that this is probably and she's had a lot of roles. Don't get me wrong. I've loved her in everything I've ever seen her in, but this might be the career defining role of her life in this movie.
Like, that's saying something because she's had some
she's
ridiculous,
so good.
Amazing roles.
She's so good in this film,
and it's her.
Yeah, and I want people.
I mean, the material's been good
because
too.
Of that, yes, because she's so good in it.
There's so much to see and wonder, and it's this beautiful. Who can take a bagel and just go, I bet you can't do this scene with a bagel. Bet. And do that. Exactly. That's what I mean about it's just, she now, and y'all know I'm not into awards or Oscars and Emmys. I'm not into that. But I understand what it means in that community. Or in like the entertainment community, I should say, whether it's a Glyph Award, whether it's an Oscar, whether it's an Emmy, whether like an Eisner, like whatever it is, I understand what it means. Even if it's just nominated, like award nominated, and then the person that I understand what it means, not just winner, but also nominated. It carries a lot of weight, and I get that, and I want you to get that money. I want you to get that work. So I'm cool with it. But y'all know awards really don't fly with me because I've seen great things that weren't even looked at by academies or committees or whatever the hell we got going on. But if I was to say anything, like again, there are going to be other movies that come out. I don't think any are going to really touch this and how it's hitting. Go with Michelle Yeoh.
Absolutely.
I mean, she just to play different versions
of herself
in herself while if you're gonna do it, best supporting actor, give it to my man Quan. I love seeing him in the different, and even when she plays like a meta version of herself, the actors, like there was so much. So even saying like that's our universe almost. And seeing like there were so many facets to it. It's just, and it's 2 hours and 2 minutes, something like that. Like 2. It's less than 2.5 hours. I know that it's less than that. if you have a chance to go see it, I don't know if they're rolling it out a little bit more with the hype that it's been getting and the popularity and the incredible reviews and stuff like that. I think it even got a 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah, this film,
It hits.
The hype on this film, not hype because it's not hype. It's well deserved acclaim for this film.
At first it was hype because nobody knows, but now it's just acclaim and love.
Yeah. This feels a lot like Parasite felt, where people are talking about this movie that normally wouldn't go see a movie like this. They're talking about it. They're obviously recommending it to their friends, much like I recommended it to you. And I mean, I don't want to get myself so hyped up that we may actually have another best picture, best international film winner in less than 5 years again at the Academy Awards. Like when Parasite did it, I was like, this isn't going to happen again for a very long time.
But if you keep getting these movies,
you
have no choice but they have to come up. If you only get them every 10 years, you might go, oh, well, only going to get them every 10 years.
Exactly. And I don't know. The only problem that I have is, would it qualify as Best International? I don't know if it would. It might. I don't know what the qualifications are for something like that, but
I wouldn't even say qualifiers.
Yeah. I mean, if it does,
best film.
Yeah, we may have another situation where that happens and the best actress would go to her. It would be amazing. Yes.
I mean, if you have a chance to go check this movie out, please go check it out. And I'm from Jersey, so I don't really like the word situation too much. Streaming TV stuff that's been coming out.
You funny, dude.
We got a situation here. No, we don't. What type of dumbass nickname? He made a lot of money and then didn't pay his taxes. Amazing. All right,
because you needed to create another situation for him.
Yeah, you go to a situation where you're getting shanked in the shower for your hair gel. You've been on the phone too long, dog. Phone check, dog. Phone check. Out of here, man. All right, so stuff that came up on Netflix, new stuff. We got the second season of Russian Doll. I have to go. I finished the first season. I fell off. But this is really cool because I'm a fan of Natasha Lyonne. She's always cool. She's like one of those indie actors that's always really cool. This is basically in the first season, it's her having like this horrible Groundhog Day situation. In the second season, I believe whatever they've done in the first season, I think they've actually turned back time to the 80s. I want to check this out, so I have to go back and I'm probably just gonna start it from the beginning because I think I was on episode 4 or 5, what have you. It's really good and it's again thought provoking because it's pretty cool. So check that out. Second season is up. Second season also of Pacific Rim the Black. I said they should have made this instead of making Pacific Rim 2. Because Pacific Rim 2 if I was to tell you watch Pacific Rim, which I love that movie, then just watch Pacific Rim the Black. Just the Pacific Rim 2 was just a fever dream. It never happened. Just don't even worry about it. It was a hallucination of some bad pork or some mustard or something like that, or whatever the hell Ebenezer.
It's a bad pork.
Or what? First of all, we shouldn't be eating pork. But anyway, I'm not gonna go into that. Whatever. Or whatever the hell made Ebenezer Scrooge think that he had seen a ghost. And because that's where I was actually trying to quote that line from with the bit of mustard on it. Whatever. Ebenezer Scrooge. Anybody who knew what I was talking about, and I appreciate you. Thank you so very much for getting my random ass Dennis Miller like remarks and comments and critiques. But the first season was really cool. It's based in Australia, and I think it's set in between the first and second movie. The only downside I will see, and hopefully they fixed it with the second season, is that they're in Australia. You see no Aboriginal characters. You see no Aborigine. That makes no sense. That's as bad as watching something in America and not seeing any Indigenous or First Nations people. But then again, they're massacres. So yeah, I guess. All right. Anyway, yeah. So check that out. We get this is one that was okay. So as of late, to get myself to sleep, bruh, I'm not joking. I'm not. This is hilarious. Okay, so if you know me, you know I've been watching a lot of documentaries lately. One of them that I keep watching over and over again at night because it helps me sleep is Fire Festival. I seen it years ago and I was like, yo, that's messed up. Lately, I've been rewatching it on Hulu and on Netflix. I love them both. And they help me sleep. They make me feel good. They make me calm. They make me calm down. I love it. So in that vein, there's White Hot, The Rise and Fall of Abercrombie and Fitch. I have not thought of Abercrombie and Fitch I don't know how long. And when they were bringing in stuff, I only went in the store once. And it was at night. When I started watching this documentary, I was like, wait, they were doing what? It's wild. Watch it. It's hilarious, but also sad. And it shows you that a lot of times retail ain't shit. I'm gonna be real. Just someone who works retail ain't shit.
Is this number? Wait, does this have a number of episodes, or is it just one documentary?
It's a documentary. Maybe about an hour and a half, an hour and 40 minutes, maybe.
Okay.
I'll watch it again. This I was watching and I was like, you gotta be kidding me. And I'm watching it and I'm like, this is wild. Y'all out here wilding. This is ridiculous. I like girls that wear Abercrombie and Fitch. Nah, baby.
Y'all out here wilding.
Bruh.
Spelled with a Y. Wilding.
Y'all wilding out here. They were wilding. If you know, you know. That this the doc. Check this documentary out. It's you know.
Oh my god.
The hell, all right. Next we have Moon Knight. Yo, bro. Moon Knight episode 4. Disney Plus came out. Look, this is a sleeper show. I want to say sleeper, kind of like Loki. I think Loki is going to do more work for the MCU. I think Moon Knight is almost like a one shot because it's a limited series. It's only going to be 6 episodes. I'm loving it. I know some people have issues with it because it's not like the rest of the MCU.
Yeah, but I think Moon Knight might do more for building the horror and mysticism part of the MCU.
Yeah, and also, I mean, you're going to have series that are going to be like those one-shot series, similar to what you would have in a comic book. You would have a one-shot, like maybe miniseries. That's what you get with this. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the locale. I'm enjoying the fact that they're showing other gods. Hello, Bast. It is a bit darker than other. I want to say this and the Falcon and Winter Soldier are 2 of the darker shows. But you're going to get a balance of it because you're going to have lighter shows. Like Hawkeye was kind of like a lighter show. Ms. Marvel is definitely going to be a lighter show. As far as we know, there could be some darkness to it. But as far as we know, but you need that balance because comics has all the different like types of reads.
Yeah.
So you're going to get that. I'm enjoying the show. I love it. At first I couldn't stand Stephen Grant, but in this last episode, I really liked it because you got to see the 2 of them together. Stephen and Mark, and how happy they were to see each other, which you never hear them say or interact. So, and this episode was probably the wildest out of all of them that you probably might see. I'm probably going to be proven wrong out of that. Wild later on because it's Moon Knight.
Yeah.
But I loved it because if you don't know Moon Knight, you don't know this aspect of the fact that earlier people thought he may have just been insane. He may have had just a break. With the DID and then everything else is going on, and that Khonshu may have been another personality. We also still don't know what happened when Mark said, "What did you do, Steven?" He's like, "I didn't do anything." We still don't know about that because there is a third personality that they may make a bloodthirsty killer. We don't know. I still want to see where this goes on. This is still building that supernatural, darker side of the MCU, which we're going to be getting with, Blade Frost. I'm probably going to watch it later on because I like seeing Wesley Snipes just kicking that dude into the wall for no damn reason. It's ridiculous. So I'm enjoying this. We've only got 2 more episodes. I probably will be going back and watching this again because you're getting Oscar Isaacs every week, which we don't get, which I enjoy. Um, and I like this other side to the MCU. We're going more mature because the fans of the MCU are growing. But then we know that we're still have a younger fan, so we're going to have shows like Ms. Marvel and possibly a Young Avengers show or Champions. So I'm here for it. The Batman Vengeance showed up on HBO Max on the 24th. What's 24th? No,
Yeah.
no, because that would have been tomorrow.
23rd.
So no, and it showed up before that. It showed up.
No, it was the wasn't it the 18th?
No. It was the 18th. Look, folks, it's on now. All right, just stop with the questions and the Inquisition.
Did you watch it yet?
I haven't watched it again. No, I just haven't had time to watch it. But I want to sit down and I'm probably gonna watch it at night in the dark. Because why not? I mean, this is definitely. I would say, as far as the way I'm going and looking at movies, this is probably the second movie for me. A movie that sticks with me is one that I go, damn, that was a great movie. That was one of the best movies. This sticks with me because I continuously am thinking about how much I like Pattinson in both roles. Even though you don't see him very much as Bruce Wayne because that's his disguise. I could do more of a deep dive probably if I watch it again because I'm going to be like, wait, this. But yeah, this is definitely, something in the way. Yeah, give it. Nirvana fan anyway. Also on HBO Max, we got Young Justice Phantoms. After last week's episode, I was ready for this week, and they go deep into it. They tell you more of the history of a name that I didn't think I was going to be hearing on this series or seeing it. Have you seen it?
I have.
Zod. And also, we saw Razor. So is that a link to the Green Lantern animated series from a few years ago? If it is, that's awesome. I dig it. This is one of the best animated series out there. One of the best series at all out there, honestly. Talked about it last time, so actually it was a benefit that it got canceled and then came back all these years later. They're doing amazing things with this series. And we are now on New Genesis. And Rocket is trying to broker a peace and a deal and getting the new gods help. This show was just really hitting me. It's different from the comics. It doesn't follow the format, which is cool with me. It doesn't matter. As long as they don't do something really off the wall crazy. But I really enjoy this series. I could see myself going back and watching it from the beginning and seeing how it's evolved and how the characters have grown as we've grown.
Yeah.
I love a series that grows with its watchers. That it's because we've all gone through things since then. Just like these characters have. But to see that Superboy is in the Phantom Zone. How did he get in the Phantom Zone? From that explosion, and we see the two Zods, the father and son, and I didn't realize that they were, well, in this universe anyway, they said that they weren't supposed to be in there that long. It was like a prison sentence, like, 5 years, then you come out. That was a very, very interesting detail to me. And that you could be pregnant in there. The show, just, if you can go back and watch it, definitely go and watch Young Justice. It's definitely worth it. On AMC, we got a new series called 61st Street. Courtney B. Vance and Anjanou Ellis are my favorite couple on screen. I don't love them on Lovecraft Country, and I absolutely love them here. They are such a positive, loving couple. In both series, they're so positive and loving and encouraging, and I love seeing that in Black couples on TV, seeing that Black love. And they have an autistic son on the show. basically Courtney B. Vance is playing a lawyer he's a public defender, and he's just tired, and turns out he's sick as well. And how this even happens is weird as hell. This athlete who's going to the Olympics, who either he's going to the Olympics or he's going for the Olympic trials, gets into an altercation with the police, and he's being hunted for murder. And it's going to come out where Courtney B. Vance's character has to defend him. I'm guessing they have to find him and everything like that. But the way the murder, the way the death happens, I should say, death, excuse me, not murder, but death happens, made me go, wait, what? I had to rewind it, make sure I didn't miss something, because it happened just like that, and it was so random, so out of nowhere. I was like, wait, what? Now, if you do have AMC Plus, you go check this out. It's definitely, again, AMC Plus is going to be another service. I got it through Amazon because I'm already on Amazon more now. So I figured, yeah, I'll get this out because there are a few things on Amazon I actually wanted to check out, some of their series. I wanted to see A Discovery of Witches. I wanted to see that Dirty Black Bag. I wanted to check out Firebite. There were things I wanted to say. Plus, there's a lot of damn BBC shows. I didn't realize there were that many BBCs. Jesus, what the hell? We got Halo on Paramount. Go watch this. I don't care if you play the games or not. Just go watch it. Best video game adaptation?
Yeah, I would say that. Especially after watching this past week's episode, where
I haven't seen this past week's. I saw last week's. I didn't see this week's, but still,
yeah, they do. Again, but you and I talked about this as with regards to Halo, like the things that they do where they clearly kind of are taking from what would be kind of what you would experience in a video game. It's just so well done. It's not cheesily done. It's just so well done. It almost feels like they kind of went to Paramount, the studio, and kind of asked for their help to kind of make it more cinematic. You know what I mean? It's just I was not expecting Halo to be this good, and it's really good. Really good.
Yeah, it's really the way they get into the story of it and deeper. It almost makes me think of like Equilibrium in a way where the character stops like taking his medicine so he can have like emotions, and when he's pulling the chip out of his back or the pellet, and yeah, that's just it's just yeah, and Woodbine in here. I love seeing him and stuff.
Yeah.
And being fleshed out and not being background noise.
Yeah. And I also feel like the show went to another level when they finally introduced Cortana as a major character here. You know,
the way it comes about, you don't know. Maybe it might be in maybe one of the novels. Maybe I'm not sure. I haven't read them, but it's because first you're like, "Oh, this is cool." Then you see how it happened. You're like, "Oh,
yeah."
And you get to see how the sausage is made.
You know that's the actual person that played Cortana in the video games, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Which it's
that's pretty cool.
It's such a cool, and that's another thing that they've done where because they didn't just use the music in certain ways, subtle ways, but to get the actress and to show how things are in the game, like when you want to pick up like the alien weapon, you just want to use it because you want to use because it's cool. Little things like that. This is detail, and you have to have a bit of a passion and a love to show to go. You know what? I've played the game. This would be cool to show there.
Yeah, I'm excited for you to watch this episode because there is a very short sort of wink to fans who've played this game, and I don't mean like a specific thing from the game. It's something that Master Chief says. That's all I'll say.
All right.
And you'll catch it. You'll catch it immediately when you hear it.
All right, cool. Because I love moments like that because I played like 3 or 4 of the games, and I mean just hearing the way that they would talk, Master Chief and Cortana, like back with the banter, I always loved in the game. And with him having emotions, I can see that actually starting to happen now, possibly. So yeah, I'm definitely a fan of it. There are 5 episodes in 5? Yeah, 5 episodes in. So definitely go check this out on Paramount Plus. Definitely. All right, now as far as comics go, there were some definitely new releases, things that came out which are cool. We've got Black Spartans. This is from Dark Moon Comics, like a manga style comic, really great. We've got Land of the Living Gods 3 from Aftershock. Didn't put it up there. Oh, there's Black Spartans. There you go. And there's Land of the Living Gods. We've also got Slumber number 2. This is the one I was talking about last week about going into someone's dream, which is cool. Philadelphia 21, y'all already know. Get Philadelphia is alt history, horror, vampire, and then it has a great spinoff called Nocturnal Nightmares. Is it Nocturnal Nightmares? I have to look that one up. The name of that. I'm a little behind on that one as well. If you like vampires, if you like alt history and finding out what Thomas Jefferson has been doing all these years, what George Washington has been doing all these years, some presidents pop up, historical figures from America's history pop up in this, in alt history, and maybe even in the present day. Check this out, please. Awesome work. Shang-Chi number 11 is out. I think I'm gonna watch the movie again. I love that movie. Damn. Simu, where have you been all our lives, man? But you know what? You came at the right time. You came at definitely the right time. I can't wait to see what you do next in the MCU and just in everything in general. I want to see you just skyrocket, dude. Seriously, you're just awesome. Batman the Night number 4 from DC Comics. I know y'all, and I know for the most part y'all know I don't really dig Batman and like comics a lot because the fans just make it horrible. But this is one of the best things out there. This is going to be a 12-issue maxi series. This is issue 4. The first 3 dealt with him in France, learning how to be a detective and learning about being a jewel thief and profiling. This next arc, so I'm probably going to do like 4 arcs of 3 or 4 stories of 3. This next one is about young Bruce going to learn how to fight and everything because he hasn't learned that yet. I love that they start out with his detective part and then go to the fighting part, because it makes me wonder what's going to be next. Possibly going to learn how to be an escape artist, possibly learning from Zatanna's father, like things like that. So I want to see where they're going to go with that because it's really cool. Issue 4, and the art is beautiful. It's one of the most it's breathtaking, and you can actually feel the action. You can actually feel like the wind from a kick and a punch. That's what I love about the art. That's what I love. What I also love is our segments, Just a Thought, banging segue. This week, I'm going to talk about the possible DC overhaul. Now, we all heard about, what is it, Discovery, saying that quite possibly are going to do an overhaul of DC. Because there's no continuity or what have you. Everybody's running around like the people on Airplane when the plane was about to crash, or running around, heads are on fire and everything. You know the scene, brother. And calm down. Just a thought. If you're going to overhaul anything as far as DC, one thing to overhaul is the DCEU. Now, the movies can be better. You keep that as a continuity, as your main movie universe. Okay? Keep that as it is. Bring in someone, a Kevin Feige, for lack of a better term, if you will, a consigliere, someone to be like the oversight, the overseer of all of this, to make sure that it's in a certain tone, in a certain consistency, because you have a chance to have something really cool here, but it just needs something to really bring it together. You can still have these one-shot movies. You can have a Joker. You can have the Batman. You can have that stuff. Doesn't mean it's outside of continuity, but just like with comics, how there are like the one universe, or I should say this main universe, you have one-shots of things that are outside the timeline that have nothing to do with the actual like universe. They can be you can do a movie about, like I said, the Batman. You can do a movie about Penguin, the Joker. You can do a movie about about Catwoman. You can do a movie about Mr. Terrific. You can do a movie about any of these characters. That's a great way to get characters that are lesser known even into people's purview. Let them see, let us people go on with these characters, give that story, and then you just make it a one shot. It's okay to have a one shot as a movie. You don't need to have everything. Doesn't need 7, 5, 8, 10 sequels. You can still have that and still do these really cool things with your DCEU, but it does need work. It does. You got a lot of stuff going on over there. I would say if anybody was to be brought in, Snyder. I know. Bullets, slow motion, fire, and a song in the beginning. I know. He doesn't have to write or direct every single movie that comes out. He can just be the guy who's like, okay, well, this, and this. His vision. But you can have the director, the writer, whoever is going on with it, you can have it be their own, but just within the boundaries of this, which is natural, which is normal. Okay? But yes, you can have these outside movies that do the thing. That doesn't make it a bad thing. It doesn't make it, oh my God, they need to make that part of canon. No, they don't. You can have those movies. It's totally okay to have a little bit of that darker edge, a little more of that more dramatic. The Batman was a great movie. Superhero movie. If loosely. Dramatic, intense, gritty is a word that everybody loves to use. And that dark thing. And it is probably one of the most true Batman movies to Batman I can think of. Don't touch the comics. The comics are incredible. You know how I know they're incredible? Because I'm actually reading them. And I'm taking money out of my pocket. We talked earlier about how I don't like to spend money. That's how you know I'm digging your products, if I'm spending money and I'm reading it. And I'm reading them monthly, like religiously. One thing I will say is this. I think with the Milestone line, we wanted to see new blood. We wanted to see these writers that have been out now, these writers and artists and creators, and you have some great ones. Vita Ayala and Nicholas Draper Ivy. Hot damn. Amazing. Static has actually become one of my favorite books, and I wasn't a Static fan going into this. Not that I didn't like the characters, but don't really get down a lot with young protagonists. Just don't, because I'm not young. But I dig this book. But I think you should definitely bring in some more inclusion. I want to see different names. I don't want to see the same, even though they're iconic, I don't want to see the same ones over and over again because they are Milestone heritage. I get it. I love you guys. You guys did your thing. It's amazing. Let's shepherd in the new. Let's bring in the new. Let's cycle in some of that fresh blood, new ideas, new perspectives, new designs. Let's do that. That I would change up a bit. But, folks, that's just a thought. I don't know. Maybe that's it.
That was interesting, brother, because... Well, let me ask you this. Does that mean that you did understand Zack Snyder's plan as far as making it about injustice at some point down the line?
Yeah.
And did you think that that was the right way to go as the counterpoint to Marvel?
It's something different, so I'm going to say okay. You know, Marvel has their formula, and it's worked gangbusters, obviously,
right.
And it's flourished. But you can see what they're doing. You can pick a couple of things off of there. Oh, that's cool. But you got to make it your own. Right. So if you're trying to do something different, as long as it's not too wild out, crazy out there, I'm gonna. I finally saw what you were looking at, and I'm like, okay, cool. I'm gonna check it out. I want to see what you're gonna do. Now, what I will say is this: I don't want a damn Flash movie. And that's all I'm going to say about that.
Yeah.
Because I don't see why that person, I don't see why they shouldn't be anywhere near this anymore. They honestly shouldn't.
I personally,
should not.
I was saying that years ago, but
well, I don't mind them as an as an actor, I say, because they can do some cool little like things, but the behavior as of
Yeah.
late, I don't know what the behavior, what's happening. I don't know
Yeah.
because I normally don't pay attention to a lot of celebrities and what they do, honestly,
Mm.
because don't worship celebrities because they'll show you the worst side of them possible.
Yeah.
And this week we've gotten a lot of bad sides. Funny enough, two people in the other DCEU,
Yeah.
Ezra and Amber.
Mm.
I don't know what's going on here, but I can see where he was going, and I kind of liked it being the polar opposite of how hopeful Marvel can be versus how dark and downtrodden DC Comics can be. And I don't mean that as far as sales or what have you. I mean just their vibes and the characters that are in those universes. So I would have been like, okay, cool, yeah, because Injustice was huge. Injustice is a huge thing. I didn't like the animated movie too much.
Yeah,
The
I haven't
art kind of
watched it.
set me off.
I
It's
haven't watched it.
the other one is better. The World War II movie, that was
Yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah, I've heard the Injustice animated wasn't that great.
Yeah, the comic I've heard is really great. The game is beautiful. So I can see him going that route. And that seems like a Zack Snyder, like just wet dream, honestly, to do these characters in his
in his vision.
in his most Watchmen vision.
Yes.
I could totally see him doing that. That seems like that's made for him.
Yeah.
I was okay with what he was going. Once I saw the Justice League, not movie, but limited series that it was, I was like, yeah, this feels
right
like him. Yeah.
It would be very interesting to see if Discovery was willing to kind of, stake one of their early decisions on restoring Snyder's vision of everything. It would be really interesting to see if they'd be willing to do that.
Yeah. But I forgot the name of the person that the name was floating around about who was going to be coming in. I forgot the name. I can't remember for the life of me. But I mean but again, I'm not some executive. I'm not some person in the studio. I don't sit in a big chair smoking a cigar going, that kid's got moxie. I don't do that. All I do is I sit here, I pay attention, I read the comics, I study the comics, I look at what they're trying to do on screen. I try and study that as well. As my voice cracks. And I pay attention and I think about it and I go, this character was great. This character was great. This actor would have been better. That line wasn't too good. Maybe they put that line there. Just me off the top of my head. Again, never went to school for any of this stuff. I'm just looking as a fan and looking at stories progressing because, my buzzword is always storytelling, world building. Tell me a story and I'll sit at your feet. So that's what I think will be. Also, animated movies. Let's get that animation. Let's get that animated studio back and put on HBO Max. Stop making it a year before it comes out on Max, but it's been on DVD because nobody's getting it except Netflix. So, good word. What's to come? All right. So, good word. We've got Free Comic Book Day is May 7th. Traditionally, it's been the first Saturday in May. Last couple of years, obviously, because of COVID, we have not gotten it. Last year, it was in August. That's why I remember it being so hot. I was like, I couldn't remember why it was so hot during a New Comic Book Day because I was sitting at Starbucks drinking something I should not have been drinking because it tore my stomach up with that heat. And then I went and had chicken and waffles at Melba, so I can't really be that mad. We all live our own life, folks. We do. So that's going to be this year. It's back to the original. Still be careful, be safe out there. Certain stores are going to be doing it. Some stores are not going to be doing it. Just depends. You can always check to see what stores will be doing it. Some are going to have whatever their restrictions are. You might have to wear a mask. Might not. It depends on what that store wants and state mandates, I suppose. So just check ahead, see what's going on. If things are well here at home and everything is good, I will be in New York for Free Comic Book Day. I will be checking it out. I will be hitting up Demetrius and his crew at Anyone and the new store Everyone comics. So hopefully within that, cross our fingers, and I'll be eating something very tasty, possibly some Chinese food near a certain Gotham establishment. The other thing also, time for anxiety. New York Comic Con Press and Pro applications are open. They opened last week. I think I'm trying to think of, maybe it was like the middle of the week. So go if you're trying to go there, and pro or press, go fill out your applications, and may the force forever be in your favor. Ooh, whatever that noise is in there. That's the best I have, brother. That's a what is it? I don't know. I'm not gonna watch those movies again. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'd rather just watch Battle Royale.
Sure.
I never finished the second one. The second one just didn't feel right to me. It just, I was watching, I was like, this isn't it.
Yeah, I have the second one. I have never watched it.
I watched maybe about 30 minutes of it, I want to say, and I was like, it just doesn't feel. Certain movies don't need a sequel, and Battle Royale doesn't need a sequel. It feels just good as is. Not everything needs a sequel. I think we're starting to find that out, kind of, sort of, maybe. I don't know. Just like every series doesn't need a second season. It can be just a limited series. It could be just an event series. It could just be that. It's totally okay to have something stand by itself and be cool.
Yeah.
I think that's my message for the show today, for me personally. It's okay to stand alone. It's okay to have something that stands alone and is good. It doesn't need to link to everything else and piggyback on it. It just doesn't. We got some comments.
Okay, future governor of New Jersey.
I don't want that job. You wildin'.
You wildin',
B. Also, my word is wildin'.
You wildin', B.
You wildin', dude. You wildin', my G. Oh. You know what it is? Is this I'm gonna be real with you. It's definitely this weather got me. You know what's got the weather and these new shorts I got on got me out here, showing it for real. You wild. I don't want
B. You wild, B.
Who wants me in office? Somebody on Facebook, we were talking about politics once, something like that, and I said, look, they don't want me in office because first off, I'm going to be at like the White House having dinners with sex workers, like having summits with sex workers, like I'm talking to everybody who is marginalized. I'm having summits at the house, cookouts in the back, like, the sandals, everything, just meat kind of burnt on the grill because it ain't perfect because it's me, just everything, got the Kool-Aid out there. I'm just, Blue Moon on deck. Like, they don't want me in office because I'm gonna be like, look, I don't know what you want me to do about your kids. Look, I'm putting condoms in these schools. Y'all
wildin', B.
I mean, y'all wildin' out here raw dogging. Y'all just, I mean, you want to be a grandparent now or later? You want your kid come home and say, I got a B, but I got herpes. Like, you want that? Strap it up there, young buck. Strap like that's, I mean, for real, that's y'all crazy. Y'all definitely don't want me in office, especially because remember how mad they were when Obama came out in that tan suit and he was fresh. He was fresh.
Don't get me started on that, brother. I had to defend him last week again.
But do you remember how mad people were?
I know how mad people were. It was stupid.
Why y'all mad?
It was stupid.
Because everybody wears the same suit, and he was out there like it was like a P. Diddy movie. Wind was blowing.
Right. Meanwhile, nobody had anything to say when fat ass Ronald Reagan wore the same tan suit in the 80s. Nobody had nothing to say then.
or when he was flooding the streets with drugs and weapons.
Exactly.
Well, no, but we all love Nancy Superhead. Nancy was out here pleasing the people. Nancy was out here getting these votes. Y'all mad at her? And that's not me shaming her at all. Y'all know I'm pro. Get it good.
Well, Ali.
Well,
I don't recall.
Well, I acted with a monkey once.
I can't, bro.
I acted with a monkey in a
movie.
movie.
I can't do it. I can't.
Bedtime for Bonzo. You know how I got that movie? I gave them drugs and weapons.
We are all over the place today, brother.
Don't nobody care. What they go? Yo, for real. Let me be real with people. This is why we do what we do. Yes, we are going to give you, like, in the beginning, we had that debate about Netflix, and then we're going to give you news about stuff that's actually going on. We're going to tell you reviews. We're never going to be that show that's straightforward lace. You're never going to see me come out in a shirt and a tie unless I'm trying to thirst trap, because I'm going to take that shirt and tie off eventually, and then like it's some like going to be like some quiet riot message going to come up in here just to slow me. Well, we're going to take it down for a minute. We're going to let y'all know.
We're going to have a show where he's going to put on a shirt and tie and he's going to get it ripped off by me, and it's going to be a WWE fight.
Brother, look at you. God, the cream always rises to the top. Oh, brother, you're going to see me do a Macho Man on the show for real. I don't. But that's the thing. We're always going to give you the actual issues and actual that's going on. But we're going to give it to you in the most original way possible, because I see there are shows out there that are dry as hell. Dry and just flavorless. No seasoning.
Well, Bonzo.
Wow, we're over here doing Macho Man, Ronald Reagan. Some of y'all don't even know who the hell Ronald Reagan is. Let's be real. But then again, you might, because our demographic is 33 to 44, I want to say. Mm-hmm. That's our biggest demographic as far as age. Mm-hmm. But we're never going to be a dry show. You know, at the beginning, there's going to be something ridiculous. We're going to give you what you want. We're going to talk geek and fandom stuff to you. We're going to tell you about stuff that's actually going on. You're not going to get hot takes out there, because most hot takes are lukewarm and they're corny and they're boring.
Take that.
For real. You know that. That's why we are what we are. We were doing this before the pandemic. We were doing this before it became hot. I was doing this when, before YouTube even became a thing, what have you. I was doing stuff on there. Mm-hmm. We were one of the first people doing IG Live when the pandemic hit. Don't get it twisted. Don't think because we joke and there's jocularity and everything like that, what have you, that we ain't been in the sauce. That we ain't been there.
I got the sauce.
So when we come for the titles, look here, Hogan, we coming. Well,
this guy out here cutting promos.
Almost in a Booker T for a second. About to snatch. About to talk. We going for you. Oh. He just knew he had gotten fired. He knew he had lost. Sherry's face is like, oh. Sherry tried to be like, oh, God. His brother he missed a beat. He was like, yeah, because I'm sure he probably would have said, you know what? Yeah, we are about to get them. And now you know him, and now you know Hogan. You like, Hogan was saying it behind stage.
Hard times.
Bro, I watched that promo again the other day. Yo, I need, when it's 90 degrees, I'm getting a fur coat. Bet money. You think I'm joking? I'm gonna wear a hot ass fur coat out here. No shirt. Chest, baby oil, all in the chest, all on the chesticle, baby oil. Brother, if you wheels, brother, with the hot times, son of a plumber. I would be like, we'll do like negative 5,000 views. I'm telling you, one day I'm just gonna start cutting promos on here. Hell, I just kind of cut a promo. Hell, I just kind of did.
No, nobody cut promos like the NWA, brother. Nobody did. Nobody.
Yo, you can't. The South was out there because Southern people know how to talk, and they was out there cutting. Why are you? You know it's 90 in Alabama, right? Why fur coat? Hard times. All right, I guess hard times and coke. All right, but but nobody beat Macho Man. What are you talking? And Mean Gene was the best. He was like, what Why you holding a cup of coffee? He's like, cup of coffee in the big time. Look, and you start. Mean Gene's face was always like, what the? Mean Gene was along for the ride. He had no idea what was going on because that was unscripted. WWE's heavy script, that was unscripted. You just said what you, and look, some of the best promos are Macho Man Randy Savage when he's with Sherry because because the two of them, because she says something like, look, mama, he's like, shut up. He's like, I know, baby, I'm sorry. And he starts talking. I'm like, what? Yo, they were just so, they looked like an odd couple, but they made so much sense together. Because she was like always like, you know, kind of screedy. She was like, oh man, she was just so. They need to have a dark side of the ring for her because I know their stories. Unfortunately, she's passed. But I want to know more about her. She might be in the Hall of Fame. I kind of think maybe. I'm trying to think. She might be in the Hall of Fame. I'm trying to think if she is. For some reason, I want to say she is, but I know she passed like. 5, 6,
maybe
5 more years ago. I won't say she passed, but her and Macho Man, he was like, "It's my cup of coffee in this. It's a cup of coffee in the big time. Look at in the and him and Hogan as the stratosphere." And I'm like, "What the what?" Yo, Saturday Night Main Event was wild on NBC. I remember them Saturday nights watching it, and I'd be sitting there like, can y'all just go to the matches? I'm a little kid. I have no idea what the hell y'all talking about. I think y'all make, I don't know what, a cup of coffee in the big tea. What's that? It's a cup of coffee in the big tea. And then he come up with a creamer. Just cream rises to the top. What the what? Did you just come up with that? He went to catering, got a it's hot. Why are you wearing a fur coat? Why? All right. I mean, you got the money to buy it. I guess. All right, whatever. You get heat stroke. Hot time, if you will, baby. Hot times. But he was one of the greatest talkers ever. He's just a common man. Just what? Flip flop and fly at my elbow. Now I gotta go watch some wrestling for real.
Yeah, I gotta go watch promos there after this.
I gotta go watch. Yo, YouTube is great.
We should have clear promos.
We should start. That mug was wilding. Yeah. I don't know which is worse, Ric Flair back then or Ric Flair now. I don't know which is. And then when you really know the story about like the plane ride from hell.
Yeah,
I didn't know it was that. Because when you hear it, it's always, oh yeah, we were playing pranks and everything. Then when you really hear it, you like, what the?
Did you ever watch the ESPN 30 for 30 for Ric Flair?
No.
Oh, that's a good one. You should find that if you can. Yeah.
It might be on Hulu because I think Hulu has some 30 for 30s.
I think so. It might be. You can check.
They were on Netflix, but they're on Hulu now.
Yeah, that's a good one, brother. You should watch that. Yeah.
I want one for a hard time. I'm gonna be real with you. I want. But you know what? It's funny. Cody channels his father in such a way, and now that he's with WWE, he channels his father in such a way, man. His promos. If you didn't know any better, and you close your eyes, I mean the voice is your eyes, but if you close your eyes, you would swear that Dusty was standing right next to him. He channels his father in the most amazing, beautiful, and almost kind of scary way. And I got it. I think every episode we should share a link of our favorite promo for that week. Just come up with, look, this is a promo of the week. If y'all ain't, mine are just going to be pretty much Macho Man and Ultimate Warrior. And you know what? Maybe some Luna Vachon because she was ahead of her time. She was definitely ahead of her time, but we didn't, nobody was trying to see a woman actually wrestle. They just wanted women to roll around in Jello. And if you had diabetes, then sugar-free Jello, obviously, because you want to watch your you want to watch your sugar. as Black people call it, diabetes. We call it sugar. Why are we like this? We be wilding. We be wilding, B.
The sugars.
Yeah, the sugars. He got the sugar. You mean the disease he has? Yeah, the sugar. We will take a disease and we will take all the sting out of it with a simple name, and not we act like we don't care. He got high blood pressure. All right. Yeah. And don't give him no more salt. I think he's past that point. Actually, I think he's asked that. I think he's past the point of a little salt is going to really. Yeah, I think so. You hear about Ronnie? What's wrong with Ronnie? He got the sugar. What? Get out. And we you heard about Earl? What happened? He got Rona. I'm not mad at that because Black people will make jokes to try and get through everything because that's what we've done our whole existence in this country. We've done that. That's why we're like the funniest people ever. The best comedians are Black people and Jewish people because we both have had such horrific histories that we have to make jokes to get through like the worst times possible. I wish I knew of some Indigenous or First Nations comedians, but I mean the settlers, quote unquote, colonizers, had a massacre and tried a genocide. So I can't really mention if there are any really great Indigenous or First Nations comedians. I'm sorry, folks. I forgot that we were on camera. I was just saying some real shit to y'all. Anyway, any final words for the folks, sir?
Peace out. Join us next week.
This has been a potpourri show right here. This has been a potpourri show. We have given you a little bit of everything. This has been all sizzle reel. This is every segment was all sizzle reel right here. You know what? Wash your drawers. You know what? It's probably time for you to buy new drawers. Matter of fact, new socks and new drawers. I think when summertime comes, we should all start buying new socks, new drawers. Then wear them for, whatever. Then buy a new cycle. For real. Some of y'all got the Holy Ghost up in your drawers. You got demons and whatnot living in your stuff. Yeah. So my word is like buy some new drawers. Yes, that's okay. I thought I was gonna have something else to say, but I don't. I'm gonna be real sure I don't. All right. So on that note, this has been Michael Williams.
Yes, sir.
And I am Antonio Pomares, and this has been another random as hell episode of Fandom Initiative. Remember to go like, subscribe, and share, and get us out there, folks, because this is the type of thing that you can get from us every episode, every random, delectable episode. It's my best Peter Lorre. Delectable, yes. Who would you say is a modern day Peter Lorre? Would it be Steve Buscemi?
Yeah, that's probably the closest equivalent. Yeah.
And that's not a slight to either of them. Because Peter Lorre was Peter Lorre, like you. And Steve Buscemi is Steve Buscemi. Like it's not a slight. It's like, I don't know, they just have this thing where like they could have whatever makeup on you, like that's Peter Lorre. That's Steve Buscemi. I know him. Like you just know, like they have that aura about them. Yeah, definitely. I don't know why that came into my head. It was a random ass conversation. So it's a random ass thought. Hey, look, go enjoy the day. Be safe out there. Eat something tasty. And watch out for the sugars.
Yeah.
What the hell does that even mean? What does that even mean? Whatever. All right, y'all. We out. Y'all ready for the shoulders? I know y'all want the shoulders in yellow. Get it. Oh, press the wrong.